All right, good evening, everybody. I am going to call our Board of Selectmen meeting for Tuesday, March 10th to order at 6:01 p.m., and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, just a few announcements. This meeting is being recorded by the local scene. Anyone intending to make an audio or video recording of this meeting should notify the chair at this time. Financial assistance applications are available on the town's website or by calling the Selectmen's office. For anyone interested in volunteering, there are several vacancies on various committees and boards. To see a complete list of the openings, please visit our website at kingstonma.gov. Kim, you don't know any offhand what's still open? I know we always have Finance Committee.
Capital Planning,
Yep.
Finance Committee, Affordable Housing Trust, Community Preservation Committee,
All right.
Commission on Disabilities. Trying to think. Those are the ones that come top of mind.
Okay. And as I've said at all of our meetings, if anybody is interested, reach out to anybody who's serving on any of the current boards. Again, you don't have to be an expert in your area. Just be willing to listen, to deliberate, to, make intelligent decisions, be open. That's really it. You just want to be willing to serve, your town, your community, your neighbors. That's why we all do it. The pay isn't great. We don't do it for money. But you do get a lot back.
But if there's something specific you're interested in,
Right.
a specific topic or area, or you have a concern, just let us know, and there might be an opening that would be a good fit for you.
Right. All right. Also, please check our website for any additional events or notices. Again, it's www.kingstonma.gov. Our annual town meeting will be held on Saturday, May 2nd, at Kingston Intermediate School. Our warrant for that will close on March 24th, so that's 2 weeks from tonight. Also, very important, nomination papers are available in the clerk's office for the annual town election. So the last day to obtain nomination papers is March 26th. The last day to submit the nomination papers is March 28th by 5 p.m. You can use the drop box outside the townhouse. The last day to object or withdraw would be April 14th. The last day to register to vote in the annual town election is May 6th. And then the last day to request a vote by mail is May 11th. And the annual town election is May 16th, 2026. So in years past, I can't remember when it was last year, I think it was also in May. But in years past, we have had the election during spring vacation week, so that's not happening anymore, so hopefully we'll get a good turnout. Anything else to add about nomination papers or elections, or any other announcements from the board? Okay, so at this point, we'll do open forum. Did anybody want to speak at open forum tonight? Just go ahead and introduce yourself. Go ahead.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay, if you... Yep.
Good evening. I'm Holly Nagelli. I'm the Director of Elder Affairs for the Town of Kingston. I'm here to share some exciting news with the members of the Board of Selectmen as well as the residents of Kingston. In your board packet, you will see a letter that I sent to Chairman Crone dated February 18th, asking the board to accept a donation to the Council on Aging from the estate of Virginia Barbara Potter in the amount of $50,000. Barbara, as she was known to her friends and family, passed away on November 8th, 2025, at the age of 94, and was a resident of the Town and Country community. She proudly served stateside in the Women's Army Corps during the Korean War, enjoyed a successful career in the Information Systems Division of Stop and Shop grocery chain, and was a loyal Red Sox fan despite being born and raised in New Jersey. At the Senior Center, we knew Barbara as a quiet, peaceful bridge and bingo player who told it like it was and didn't mince words. She was always friendly, respectful of other people's opinions, and generous with her time and her bingo winnings. In February 2024, Barbara donated a smart TV to the senior center, which is currently hanging in our library. As directed by Barbara's nephew and executor of her will, Mark, the donation was made, quote, as sincere thanks to the Kingston Council on Aging for the support, services, and sense of community you provided to Barbara during her time living in Kingston. Thanks to her generosity, we will continue to do that for many other Kingston seniors for many years to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we're going to vote on that in a few minutes. Anybody else here to speak at open forum? No? Okay. On to our appointments. The first one is John Bartlett, the chair of the 300th Committee for a Parade on July 25th. As part of Kingston's 300th celebration, the committee is looking to hold a parade in Kingston on July 25th. John, the floor is yours.
Good evening. John Bartlett, 428 Elm Street, Chair of the 300th Committee. I'm coming to you tonight to get approval. We need a letter from the Board of Selectmen approving the parade and the route. As we know, pretty much any road you go on in Kingston is a numbered route, so the state has to have their say. I've been working with the administrations from the police and fire departments. We've come up with the route and some detours. I don't know if I did submit them. I don't know if you've seen them. So I'm requesting that the Board of Selectmen approve this for the parade on July 25th.
All right, any questions from anyone on the board? No. Would anybody like to make a motion?
I move the Board of Selectmen approve that on July 25th, 2026, a parade will be held in the town of Kingston to celebrate the 300th anniversary of the town, and request that the chair sign the letter to the state that they will not be held liable for any damages to local roads caused by the increase in traffic generated by the detour.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Like that one? I really like that one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because the parade's the biggest problem on state roads, right?
I know. All right, next item is Police Chief. Chief, are you here? Yep, you wanted
He's
to
hiding over there.
provide a formal introduction.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, honorable members. Lieutenant Detective Scovera is going to provide the introduction, and then I'll provide you a program update.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all, first of all, for having us. I want to thank you for calling that virtual meeting last week to officially appoint the clinicians to the team, and tonight it's my pleasure to introduce you to them. These two outstanding professionals will be serving our community as our newly hired co-response clinicians with the Kingston Police Department's Family Services Unit. First, I want to introduce you to Kate Eldridge, who brings more than 2 decades of experience in the fields of mental health, substance use treatment, and forensic counseling. She previously was employed as a clinical program director, overseeing a multidisciplinary youth mental health team. She has previously worked alongside law enforcement as a police co-response clinician, providing on-scene crisis intervention and diversion services. Kate holds a master's degree in mental health counseling and a master's degree in criminal justice from Suffolk University. She's dedicated much of her career to crisis response, trauma-informed care, and helping individuals access treatment instead of entering the criminal justice system. Next, we also have Gabby Cohen, who previously worked as a co-response clinician in a multi-town assignment similar to our program. She was responding with police officers to crisis calls, helping connect individuals and families to behavioral health resources. Many of the police officers she worked with have joined her here tonight, showcasing their support. Gabby has extensive experience in mobile crisis response, addiction treatment, and clinical counseling, and she holds a Master of Social Work from Simmons University. Her work is focused on helping individuals in crisis stabilize in the moment while ensuring they receive the support and services they need afterward. I also want to recognize that they'll be working closely with Clinical Supervisor Caitlin Leary and Kingston Police Sergeant Ryan Coulter, who has put a ton of work into making this program operational. Both of them are extremely excited to welcome them to the team and continue building the program together. The addition of Kate and Gabby represent a major step forward for our community. This co-response model allows trained clinicians to work side by side with police officers to respond to mental health and substance use related calls, helping de-escalate situations, connecting people with treatment, and diverting individuals from unnecessary involvement with the criminal justice system. Their work with our unit will also extend into additional outreach with Sergeant Coulter. Before I hand it off to Chief Holmes, I wanted to provide an update on the Family Services Unit. I want to make mention of how excited all of us are, not just the Family Services Unit, but all of us are, to work with Gabby and Kate. Their experience, compassion, and professionalism will have a tremendous impact not only on our department and our residents, but on all 5 communities they'll be serving. Please join me in welcoming Kate and Gabby to the team.
Can we just get Ken and Gabby to stand up for you, a picture of the town seal?
Well, if they stand there, they're gonna have to talk, that's the rule. Go ahead.
Where would you like us?
Just try to, like, Ken Gabby, can you stand on this side and you stand on this side? And then we'll get the picture down to the big flag. Let's see. Okay. How does you guys sound?
It's only one page. So the clinicians, Kate and Gabby, yes, we are very excited about that, and once again, I want to thank the board for your support in this initiative. This will benefit 5 communities, including Kingston. They spent the first couple days here going through some orientation with learning the department, learning the people, learning the policies, and getting used to how we do things. They've met with the fire chief today. We're scheduling them to meet with other members of the Kingston Fire Department. They're visiting the partnership departments throughout the week. They're going to be meeting with Plymouth County Outreach. They met with the Marshfield clinician today, who's got an active program to compare some notes. We're going to continue until, the program rolls out on Monday, fully operational. We're going to continue with partnership outreach. Some departments have liaisons that are assigned. Some departments will handle it directly through the chief of police. They did meet with Silver Lake staff and the guidance at the high school and the middle school. We are going to be working with reaching out to Sacred Heart. The program is operational effective Monday. The intermunicipal agreement, one of them has been signed for Halifax. Hanson has approved theirs with a final review by council, which is also our council. Plimpton and Carver, they have a different council, and they are awaiting final review from council, but approved. The IMA is pending the final review, and we anticipate a signature for this board at the meeting in 2 weeks if you have room on the agenda for us. That is the update for the program. If you have any questions, we're always happy to answer.
I just want to say thanks again for thinking outside the box, and partnering up with neighboring communities, especially once you started going through the recruiting process and realized you wanted both of them. We found a way to make it work, and I think work even better for everybody just to have the double coverage. So, we appreciate it for sure.
Thank you.
And getting the grant. I know getting grants are not an easy thing to do, especially in a time of disappearing money. So keep up the good work with that.
Yeah, no, it's certainly worth the work, and
Yeah.
it's the way that we have to get by.
Right.
So-
And I hope the public realizes that as well. So, I mean, we're able to do this with, grant money and partnering up with other towns so that Kingston was not, bearing the brunt of this. So I think it's huge. Any other questions or comments?
It's okay with you, Mr. Chair, I'll just have both of the ladies say a quick hello to the board.
Sure.
Good to see you. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome again.
Welcome,
Yep.
good luck. Welcome again. Oh, you wound up in the.
I know. All right. Oh, we get a, yeah, Chief needs to come back up. Chief, you're up again. All right, folks, so the next item on our agenda is to discuss the impossible authorization regarding use of lot 4560.
Wait, no, you made the update from the police chief? Is that this?
You already did that.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah. So we're up to number 4. So
Gotcha.
discussion and possible authorization regarding use of lot 45-62, 6 Maple Ave by the police department. So Chief, I'll give you the floor on this one too.
Thank you again. I put it up there as a discussion item. You're certainly welcome to make a motion if you want. I didn't put a suggested motion in there. I was motivated to put in for this request last week because I saw what the storm did the week before. It was a circus. There's nowhere to move the vehicles to, and we are completely out of space.
Yep.
In order for us to be able to safely and effectively plow the lots, we have to be able to migrate all the vehicles out of the lot. So we would use in the front lot, we were using the access road. There's nowhere to put them. I did research on the grant with the assistance of the assessor, and she pulled up the sheet. There were no restrictions on the use of this lot other than the fact that there's supposed to be a fence between the abutting property lots. It was deeded to the town in 1911. A school was built there. A school was at some point raised, and it's basically empty grass space with a few trees on it. It's space that we actually need. So I'm seeking the board's authorization to have authorization for use of that land. If we do end up trying to pave it, which I can assure you we will, provided there are funds available, we'd go through any of the hoops that we'd have to jump through in terms of conservation, water runoff, or anything like that.
So can somebody explain, do we need to go before a town meeting on this?
To repurpose the land?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so.
It depends on whose custody it's in,
Yep.
and then depends on and I think they did a little research on it, whether there was any sort of deed restriction on when it was
It
given to
doesn't
the
seem like
land,
there is.
given to the town.
Yep.
Barring all of that, then it should just be up to the selectmen. If it's in your care and custody, just another piece of property.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
This is the piece of land where you had folks park when you did the haunted house at the police station, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted, the pictures, it's hard to tell because it's all one big snowbank. So I just wanted to.
There is an
make sure.
access road there. It's reclaimed material, so it's compacted, reclaimed asphalt, and there's a lot of potholes in it. I had discussions ongoing with Mr. Turner. He had intentions on trying to find a way to get some, whether it's leftover Chapter 90 money or something, to give that an actual asphalt top coating so that we can get in there without having to put the vehicles in four-wheel drive because there's no safe way in or out. And every time it gets plowed, it just gets further beaten up. So without a coating of asphalt, it's going to continue to be like that. But then, we had this evolving discussion, and Mr. Turner seems to believe that we might be able to find enough in the regular operating budgets to pave the entire lot if we have the authorization for use.
So, in Brian's email to Tricia, he did mention that when we did this with the Range property, we held a discussion, and then we had a second meeting seeking public input. So we could do the same thing, do a public hearing, and then see if any neighbors have anything that they want to say. This isn't going to be a range, it's going to be a parking lot, right? So,
Seems to me that this is a piece of surplus land that the town owns, that it's doing nobody any good. I, for one, would support 100% of it becoming used by the police department instead of just sitting there as a piece of land that neighbors can dump their trash on or whatever, so that I would like to see us consider voting to authorize them to start. On the other hand, I don't want to see us spending $100,000 to get the piece of land in shape for the police department.
all right, so what are the thoughts? Do we want to make a motion? Do we want to ask for I don't think legally we are required to have a public hearing, but
Do we need legal's approval that we have the ability to repurpose the land without anything else? I mean, you said you didn't think we needed.
No, we've looked and I think the chief's worked with the town planner on this and looked to see
Okay.
that it is actually
Okay.
Yeah.
a piece, and it's obviously something we've been using. My only recommendation would be good to meet with the neighborhood before doing anything, just to make sure that they're comfortable with it.
Fine.
Right.
I'm good either way. I don't mind having the neighborhood buy in. I'm also fine with moving forward the way that Carl suggested. I'm good either way.
I'm good either way as well.
Yeah, I'm fine just moving forward. So, on it.
I'll move that the Board of Selectmen approve the police department using this vacant piece of land.
Second?
Any discussion? No. All those in favor?
Aye.
That sounded like 500 to me.
Well, thank you very much.
If it needs funding to be paved, though, that's a different discussion.
Of course, no problem. No, like we said, we'll jump through any hoops that we are required to jump through for any kind of water runoff or anything that we need to look at, and I'll certainly have a continued discussion with the town administrator on that. Thank you.
Good.
All right. Thank you, Chief. Next item is approval of a one-day liquor license, Widowmaker Brewing. Kenny Semkin of Widowmaker Brewing is requesting a one-day liquor license for Punk Rock Flea Market located at 101 Kingston Collection Way on April 18th from 12 to 5 p.m. Any questions, comments, or a motion?
I don't know, their brewing name sounds dangerous.
I know it.
I move to approve the request from Widowmaker Brewing for a one-day liquor license for Punk Rock Flea Market located at 101 Kingston Collection Way on April 18th, 2026, from 12 to 5 p.m.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. All right, next up, Winter Storm After Action Report by the Emergency Management Director, Chief Douglas. Welcome, Chief.
Good evening. I'd like to just give you a, well, it's not a quick update, but it's an update on this, the winter storm that they named Hernando, they called Blizzard Hernando, from a couple of weeks ago. So to start off, the weather description, the snow began late evening on Sunday, February 22nd, became heavy with high winds in the early morning hours of Monday, the 23rd. Snow and wind continued along with higher gusts through the late evening hours on Monday and into Tuesday. During that time frame, numerous power outages occurred due to the heavy snow and high winds, as we all know. These conditions also caused several downed trees and limbs. Travel conditions became difficult, with many roads impassable for periods of time during that day on Monday and into Tuesday. The tides, fortunately, I should say, the tides were not a concern for this particular storm. So Streets, Trees, and Parks Department, affectionately known as Highway, along with Water, Sewer, and Facilities, began storm operations at approximately 10 p.m. on Sunday night and continued day and night at some level through Monday, March 2nd. At 6 a.m. on Monday, February 23rd, winds and snowfall rates increased significantly, making it difficult for crews to keep up. In this case, I should say, the highway superintendent was required to adjust routes, equipment that was on routes, and all of the things that you can imagine to accommodate a heavier snowfall, which in many cases approached 4 inches an hour. Those adjustments of tasks continued through Monday of the following week. Throughout the storm, the department operated and/or supervised 11 dump trucks, 8 town pickups, 3 large loaders, 1 small loader, 7 skid steers, commonly known as bobcats, 1 trackless snowblower, brand new by the way, 32 private contractor vehicles. Post-storm cleanup was also assisted by the Vermont Transportation Authority. Through MEMA, they provided 3 10-wheel dump trucks, 3 front-end loaders, 1 pickup-sized vehicle with a plow. These assets were used to remove snow at intersections, and their operational period was Wednesday through Saturday. On the public safety side of things, both police and fire departments were very busy during the storm, during the entire operational period. Each experienced difficulty in responding to calls for service over snow-covered roads, around obstructions, and under low-hanging wires and trees. Excuse me. On occasion, there were response delays, but we responded to every call for service and assisted each other wherever possible. And I think that is something that's important to highlight. All of us, whatever we were called on to do, called for service, police and fire, made sure that even though there was a prioritized call or a slight delay, we responded to every single call for service within this community for that period of time. Staffing at the fire department was increased beginning Sunday evening at 6 p.m. and continued at varying levels through Thursday, February 26th. Each station responded to numerous emergencies within their assigned geographical areas throughout that week. On Tuesday morning, additional staff were recalled to assist in the relocation of town and country mobile home residents who were without power. On the police side of things, they increased staffing Sunday evening and continued at varying levels through Tuesday, February 24th. At the height of the storm, patrol units were brought into the station for safety and responded to multiple calls from there. Along with their many other duties during the week, the PD assisted in relocating residents at Town and Country, managing traffic for snow clearing, and supporting the fire department where needed. Our public safety dispatchers were hard at work. They received and dispatched all police and fire calls for service, as well as assisted in the coordination excuse me, of emergency responses with the Highway Department, Eversource, and other utilities. Our dispatchers handled about 300 calls in that operational period, with 105 on Monday alone. Staff was not added in this area. As we all know, we are in desperate need of a police station, and that area of dispatch simply does not allow additional dispatchers to be placed in there and work efficiently. So it was the police chief's decision not to add, and that was a completely sensible decision. They would have simply been banging into each other. That makes it very, very difficult to handle an incident like this with two people. Our facility staff also hard at work, worked with the Highway Department on snow removal throughout the storm and cleared sidewalks and entrances to town buildings in preparation for reopening on Thursday. Post-storm, the Facilities Department coordinated snow removal from the library roof, evaluated building conditions, and coordinated necessary repairs. Communication with the public. Here's a couple of places where during our meetings, we've had a lot of discussions on what's the best way to do this and how often. Smart 911 calls, the initial and second notifications were informative, but additional updates throughout a storm of this magnitude may be helpful. Certainly as needed emergently, but perhaps one per day with simple storm updates similar to what Sean does on Facebook, we thought would be appropriate. We don't want to overuse that media, but I think in a storm like this, a once a day update is reasonable. Social media, in that area, we can improve upon that a little bit. We can assign one person and an alternate to post on the official town pages, social media, and the website. Eversource, often a bone of contention, if you will, in terms of their storm responses. In this case, I would categorize their response as very good. A large amount of mutual aid assets were mobilized and staged early. The Emergency Operations Center and Community Liaison programs were activated at the appropriate time and function as planned. Response by the field crews once the wind diminished was relatively quick, even though it often doesn't seem that way. Unfortunately, several circuits, including the one that controls Town and Country mobile home estates, were damaged to a point that required extensive work and extensive time. Going forward, KFD and KPD staff will receive, including dispatch, will receive training on the Eversource Municipal Hub. That hub is a website that allows us to enter the outages directly into the hub and allows the Emergency Management Director to prioritize those within the hub without having to make 100 phone calls to do so. MEMA also activated their OC in a timely manner and mobilized assets a lot quicker than they have in the past, and this proved to be very effective. Requests were made early by us in the storm when we learned that the statewide mutual aid resources were available, and that also was helpful in getting the Vermont folks here reasonably quickly. Through our rep at MEMA, we provided a list of assets that we were requesting. Those assets were entered into the WebEOC, which is the statewide system for requesting assets through MEMA. Once that's entered, it goes through the MEMA system and is approved at varying levels, and then those resources are assigned. The Vermont transportation assets were here, again, Wednesday through Saturday. That was a result of those MEMA requests. The National Guard assets also requested through MEMA to help us evacuate, or what we believed we were going to do was evacuate or relocate the residents at Town and Country. 2 trucks, 4 soldiers completed their assignment on Wednesday. They were here for Monday through Wednesday, roughly. I'd like to extend a special thank you to Representative Kathy Lenatra. Not to be political, but Kathy was very helpful in pushing some of my requests through MEMA as quickly as we possibly could get them pushed through. She did help me avoid a couple of glitches or hiccups in that system that are unfortunately in place and they're aware of. Things often get bogged down in approvals, and if your piece of paper doesn't make it to the top of the pile, well, things are slower. And Kathy was helpful in getting the piece of paper to the top of the pile. Red Cross sheltering was not necessary in this storm. If it had been, it would have been at the Silver Lake Regional High School. We do have to have some continuing discussions on how that gets cleared, how quickly it gets cleared, and so forth. Typically, sheltering is done post-storm. I'm not a big fan, nor is the Red Cross, of sheltering pre-storm, because you're kind of creating a hotel that you may not need. And the school administration does not care for pre-storm because they want to go back to school. So if you don't need a shelter, they don't want you to use it if they can help it, because that shelter cannot be operated at the same time the children are in school. So that's something that a lot of people are not aware of, and certainly Jill has made me aware of that on several occasions. So notable events that happened during the storm, we had 2 generator failures, Town Hall and the COA. Both were as the result of snow blowing into the air intakes. The one at the Town Hall has been repaired and it is in service. The one at the COA will require some additional work, and that's in process by the Facilities Department. Our fuel pumps, for some reason, didn't like the generator brand of electricity they were using, I guess, and they stopped working mid-storm, and then later on came back. So we're not 100% sure on why that was. But I would like to thank the Deputy Fire Chief, Adam Hatch. When that happened, I asked him to quote-unquote handle it, and he did. He went, met with Scott, and did everything he needed to do to get 3 facilities in town that were able to sell us fuel, and we could operate the vehicles. We had a plow driver on Monday in the area of 59 Grove Street that was struck with a large tree limb. It came through his windshield. I'm sure most of you saw that, striking the seat near the driver's legs. He was a very lucky man. Shaken but not stirred, as he told me, as he told one of our guys. And that story made regional and national news. Town and country resident relocation, as I mentioned, due to an ongoing power outage. We used the National Guard, police, fire resources, cleared walkways, assisted the residents to the clubhouse, where they were sheltered in place until the power returned later that evening. The Sacred Heart Gymnasium, the newer building to the rear of the Sacred Heart High School, collapsed on Tuesday. We believe that was largely because of snow, but without an autopsy, so to speak, it's tough to tell exactly what caused that. It seemed, and we were having this discussion today, a very unusual circumstance. That building has been snowed on for years and never had this type of failure. So very interesting if you're interested in that stuff. One thing that, this is a real, a little emotional, I think, for a lot of people. We had an elderly gentleman who was blowing snow and went into cardiac arrest. A bystander performed CPR, and he's now recovering. That bystander saved his life, no question, and did the appropriate care until the Station 2 crew got there. He was transported to the hospital, and he's recovering. So, in summary, we had after-action meetings with police, fire, all of the stakeholders, and we've come up with some recommendations here and there, some stuff internally we need to do. You always do that after a storm. You find some stuff you can tweak. Things that went well: communications, often a strength and a weakness, although our departments did communicate very well with each other through the storm. The new town-wide radio network worked pretty much flawlessly, as we had hoped it would. That was the one that you funded through the CARES Act 3 years ago. I lose track. But that was flawless, that was perfect, and that did everything we hoped it would do. The coordination between public safety, highway, other departments was excellent, whether by radio or cell phone. Eversource response was good. MEMA provided resources quickly. So those were all very good things that happened in the storm. And I think for those of you who were looking out the window, you could see that it was challenging. But I can't commend highway, water, facilities, and the contractors enough. That was an amazing job. Excuse me. Things that need a little work: communication, as I said, always a plus and a minus. We can do some work to get better at that. Losing the internet as a result of the generator, losing the internet and the phones as a loss of the generator at Town Hall was a little challenging, but we got over it, and the same with the town fuel pumps. So each of those things require a little bit of work, but there is nothing that we've found in our response that was huge, that we would say, oh my God, we screwed that up. There's always going to be the little things. So for future storm preparedness, a couple of side notes. Remind everyone that FEMA asks that you be ready or self-sufficient, I should say, for at least 72 hours post-storm. I think this storm proved to us that there are going to be times when, while as much as we try, we can't get to you. That doesn't make us comfortable, it doesn't make us feel good, but it's a truth, it's a fact. There are going to be times where that's difficult. Please be aware of that, and we're doing our best. Finance, hold on to your seat. We submitted an IDA, an initial damage assessment, to the state for $440,000 for this storm. Is that the real cost? Subtract out, because we added in intentionally, some costs that I think FEMA will take out when the time comes, or that they won't want to fund, which is the straight time for our employees that will work in regularly scheduled shift during that time frame and stuff. But the state is looking to meet a threshold, so we were helping them along with that, at least for the IDA. So in closing, I'd like to say thank you to everyone. Some of the people that don't get recognized after some of these storms are you folks. The boards, committees, residents that provide us with the equipment and the staff to do this kind of work often go unnoticed. It's always, Facebook posts about fire and police and all of us doing out there doing all that fun stuff. But all of you make a huge contribution to this effort, and I thank you all for that.
Thank you, Mark. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. I mean, we have such, you called them out. You said our department heads and the staff did such an amazing job pulling together. I think we're lucky to have great leadership in fire, police, highway, water, like you said, facilities, all of our departments pulling together and all the staff working together. And it's not a competition, but when you look around other towns, we certainly fared better, and we typically do through our storms. But these after-action reports are phenomenal. That we go through and we analyze what we did right, what we did wrong, what we can improve, and that's why we're lucky to have you guys in these leadership positions, because you're able to you do these things, and I know, knowing you guys for so many years and working with you, you guys really take these jobs very much to heart. And Mark, I know you do. I mean, we talk about roads that aren't good, and we can't plow them, and you're like, well, guess what? I'm going to go to whatever house we need to go to.
Get there.
Yeah. So I mean, you take your job seriously, and it's very appreciated.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for everything you've done for the town.
And he can't say it this way, but I will. We have an outstanding emergency management director in this town.
Yes.
And he will not get up there and say that, but I can. And I can say thank you for all of your hard work and communication and coordination. I know you can't be, when you're out there, you can't be on Facebook, social media, doing all of these things, but you keep
Right.
the people updated that need to know, and hopefully they can push out information. We'll get better at communication. But Kingston is better off because we have people like you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You probably don't feel it, but I appreciate the thanks. I will say this, and I very rarely will get emotional in public, but I will say this to you: saving that gentleman's life made it all worth it.
Yeah.
And you all know why.
Yep.
It just makes it all worth it. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right. Next item is acceptance of a donation to Council on Aging. We heard about that earlier, and I actually wanted to read the letter. I just had it up and I closed it by accident. Here it is. So I just want to read this quick letter, very short. Just please accept with great appreciation a donation in the amount of $50,000 to the Kingston Council on Aging from the estate of Virginia Barbara Potter, a former Kingston resident. Barbara was a weekly visitor to the senior center and directed that a portion of her estate be donated to the Kingston Council on Aging. So with that, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'd just like to make a comment before. I don't know if anybody knows, or if Holly was still here, I'd ask her, but $50,000, I would hope, that, number one, I'd like to know if there were any restrictions. A lot of times when you get
She's
a...
saying no.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I asked Holly.
no
No
restrictions,
restrictions.
okay. Then I think that's great. My second comment would be, I would hope that this would be used on an ongoing basis for what I would call almost special things, that I would hate to see this $50,000 used over the next year to supplement an annual operating budget, something like that. I think that I would like to see that it's somehow used over a number of years to benefit the current people that visit there, or to do something special as opposed to just using it as a supplement to the budget. My only thought.
Yeah.
You want a motion?
I think Scott heard that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I move the Board of Selectmen accept the donation of $50,000 to the Kingston Council on Aging from the estate of Virginia Barbara Potter. Thank you.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, next up, recommendation of 2026 transfer station sticker fees from Streets, Trees, and Parks Superintendent. So we do have in our board materials a recommendation from, for some of the changes. Sean, did you want to?
Yeah, good evening. Just here tonight to talk about the sticker fees. I know we went up on them a little bit last year, but unfortunately, with the way the budgets are and everything increasing, we need to talk about going up on the fees. I know I've talked to some of you guys, and I sat down and had a discussion with Scott. There's some money we need to incur, and the way to do that is raising the sticker fees. You know, you have to have the users paying for what's being used. We're going to be looking at maybe a 3-year plan to increase, to make it so it's almost self-sustaining. But this is the first year, and, you know, it's not much, but we're looking to go up about $20. Also, what we were looking to do is eliminating, there was so many different age ranges in there. It just got full. It was just hard to track. It got foolish. Why there was ever, it is what it is. So now we're just looking to make it 65 and over is the same rate as veterans, and eliminating the 62 to 65 that was there before.
So we've had this discussion with other departments as well, and a similar discussion that we had last year and probably
Yeah.
the year before that. So,
I have a quick question, though. Is
Yeah.
this I don't know if this is a typo or not, but in when you have the 25 to 26, and then you have the 26 to 27, most of the numbers are the same, but the regular, you went from 1312 to 1512.
Well, what that would be is
Another
taking
two.
that 62 to 65 range.
Jumping
So
to
taking the
next age
residents that
range.
were 62 to
'Cause they're
64,
assuming aging out.
they would now become the regular stickers.
I got it.
Yeah.
So we were just taking it, and
Got it.
again, it's estimated. You
Yep.
don't know who's gonna come back the following year,
The
but
math major missed
just
that.
throwing out some numbers here, so.
Math major for the win.
And my
So,
degree's
you
in
know,
math,
by
and I
these
missed that.
increases,
But some of the people from the other
Yeah.
range will,
it could generate another 116,000
Yeah.
just from these increases.
which, we don't raise fees lightly. Everything is getting more expensive.
Well,
We had a
that's- yeah.
conversation with the Shellfish Constable about this exact thing. Is it's like, we need to get away from subsidizing budgets where we can,
Right.
and actually having the users pay for the service.
Well, as it should, and that's what a lot of towns are gearing towards.
Yeah.
It's either that or some of the discussions we've had about pay-as-you-throw
Right.
is moving in that, but that's still, we're still having discussions, that won't be this year.
Right.
But we'll continue to have discussions on that and some educational sessions for residents to come in and hear from. We'll bring in Todd from DEP, but that's just another avenue.
I do have another question. So the one thing that stood out to me was mattresses in Box Springs going up, 50%, up to $60. Does it cost that much? And the reason I ask, so I have a sticker for a town in Maine, and mattresses there are $5. So I took like 6 mattresses from here and took them up to Maine to.
Well, for instance, I mean, it
But-
costs us, they're going up to 50, they say it may go up to 55.
That's crazy.
So we have to, have to make a little bit on it. You still got the employees that are dealing with it,
Yeah.
taking them off a car, stacking them. For instance, like Scott and I will look in the town of Plymouth is 75.
Wow.
I think the town of Hanson was 70. So we're still below them.
Why
I
does
believe
it,
in Whitman, it was also up in the 70 area in Abington.
are we gonna, I mean, that's one of those things that you see, you know, thrown in the woods. I mean, are we having much of a problem with people disposing garbage? Like, it was happening a lot behind the, on Rabbit Road and
Not
stuff back
anymore.
in the woods, not anymore?
No,
Oh,
because
that's
we're in
good.
constant, we work with the conservation agent.
Yeah,
And the police department a lot, and monitor in those areas.
Yeah.
And if we find there's an area, there's cameras.
oh, good.
We're setting out
Okay.
trail cams to catch
Okay.
people. So no, the illegal dumping has gone down quite a bit.
That's great, yeah,
Yeah. You're still gonna find it here and there, but it's not,
yeah.
these simple increases aren't gonna cause any more. And if it does, we'll catch them.
All right, any other, any questions?
I was trying to look in the budget book, but I can't move that quickly, and there are no tabs. How much is your budget approximately, off the top of your head, for the transfer station, cost-wise?
How close, with the sticker fees?
Well, no, in general, like, what's the total
Oh, it's
budget?
815,
Okay,
Okay.
give or take a couple thousand.
all right,
It's
so we're
around
still
we still
over
have to meet-
200,000 short of actually paying for itself.
But
Well,
next
not
year
not
would be
necessarily.
closer.
You're probably looking at about, what do you think, Scott?
You said
Maybe
almost 6, you
Well,
said 8.
I think at the
so-
end of the day, we looked at it, and there was still going to be a deficit, and that deficit would probably be about 200,000.
Yeah,
Because we're trying to sort of bridge that 300 over that 3-year span.
Correct.
Got
Yeah,
it.
we're trying to bridge that, like Scott said.
that makes sense.
Over a
I was
3-year
just
span.
curious. I just.
Because the other
for-
thing, like we discussed, is we've already caught Monday night overtime.
Right.
We know we can't bring that back this year. We've already cut the chipping down. So it's either we raise these fees, or what's the next thing we do? We have to start cutting either days, close another day, or cutting some of the services, like stop taking mattresses, stop taking stuff that costs us. So to keep those services to the residents, we have to
Right.
go up on the sticker fees.
And we're talking about 3 people that work there, so there's not a lot of ability to cut.
Yeah,
In
you
terms of
really
the
can't.
costs.
You have 3
Right.
people, and you need all 3
Right.
up there all the time.
Exactly.
Because usually during the week, 2 are driving, or 1 is driving and 2 are on the ground. Or if 2 have to drive, then 1 from highway has to go up and fill in on the ground, because you always have to have 2. So, yeah, no, this, to cut somebody up there,
No,
it wouldn't
no,
work.
I just, for the benefit of everyone,
Right. Yep.
just good to know.
I personally think the fee increases are very reasonable, even though bottom line in the general stickers, it is a 20% increase. 116,000 against a 589,000. I think it's very reasonable. My attitude towards town government is I'd like to see a lot more things be self-supporting, and I think one of the objectives here is to get this to self-supporting over a period of time. So, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's not something, Carl, that we wanted to hit all at once.
Right.
You know, we had this discussion with Keith last year, and it was trying to do it all at once.
It was
Would have
too
raised
much.
the stickers almost to 340.
It was too
From
much.
260 or 240 in 1 year, it was just too much.
Nope.
As long as we keep the senior citizens at a reasonable level.
We'll keep them somewhat reasonable.
Hey, we still pay full price.
I mean, you can compare it to curbside too. No, I think maybe a few of you guys have the curbside pickup, and that's climbing as well. That could be anywhere from $40 to $60 a month. For
They keep
curbside.
going up. It's up to, mine started at 45, and now it's like 72, because I get $18 fuel surcharges and,
Right, so you're looking at that could be $700, $800 a year.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't get rid of
Yeah.
half of the stuff at
It's at
curbside
800.
that you can at the transfer station, so.
Interesting. Okay.
any other comments or a vote, motion?
I move the Board of Selectmen approve the fee recommendation from the Superintendent of Streets, Trees, and Parks for the 2026-27 transfer station sticker fees.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Can I ask a quick question about this?
Sure.
For my constituents of the
address.
town of Kingston, why would,
Name and address, buddy.
oh, sorry, Will Cushman, 273 Main Street, Kingston, Mass. For my constituents, why, for the people who I'm trying to help in this town recently, my main focus is the,
Hey, Will, actually, I'm going to ask you to hold this till our next meeting at an open forum.
yeah.
Okay? All right. So our next item is recommendation from Shellfish Constable for the 2026 shellfish fees and regulations. So we had discussed this, was it our last meeting or the meeting before?
Yep.
Anyways, the constable had recommended reverting back to 24 prices, and we discussed minimizing the number of categories and whatnot. After that meeting, the constable met with the office and discussed removing all the different categories, and recommendation is as follows: residents 50, non-residents 125, and then 62 plus a $10 discount. Dan, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I don't know how he got away with only 20, but no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You want to bring your stickers up to 260?
No, I think basically we're just here to revisit the fee schedule, the rules and regulations for 2026, which haven't really changed other than the state has reclassified each area, and I've detailed that on the map that I gave you guys last time I was here. So basically, we're just here to get the approval and start selling stickers, licenses tomorrow.
I have a question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So I love the fee schedule. I think, we've been working on this for a couple of years. The only concern I have is the 62 plus veteran discount. I would like to increase that amount to 20 because we made a huge jump in their license fees. So that's just thought.
So instead of
Instead
40,
of
it would be
just
30.
Yeah. Just looking at their prior ones, I felt like that was a big jump. Just a conversation.
Yeah. We'll tell you later.
Oh, sorry. Am I not loud enough?
No.
I'm usually way too loud, sorry.
No, I can't hear you.
I'm gonna turn my mic off so I can project.
Yeah.
She was suggesting the discount be $20 off instead of 10.
That's fine. Yeah. Again, we're taking care of the seniors, right, Carl?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I'm all for that.
The only thing I don't love is 62 and 65, like we're still not quite aligned, but it is what it is.
Why not just change it to 65?
We put a lot of thought into that.
Okay, all right.
Good question, good answer.
So do you want to
Yeah.
make a motion with your
Sure, with the-
suggested change?
Sure. I move the Board of Selectmen approve the fee recommendation with a change of the increasing the discount for 62 plus and veterans by $20. So increase the discount to a total of 20.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you hear me over there? Sorry. And from the Shellfish Constable for the 2026 shellfish licenses, as well as accept the new regulations and map as presented this evening.
Second?
Did I say that right?
Any discussion before I call a vote? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you,
Thank
Dan.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Dan, when those 70-year-olds come to complain, you can just send them our way.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
I got it, you got my number.
After June 1st, sorry.
Microphone. Microphone. No, you have to. For the open meeting law.
Jennifer Cushman, Main Street, Kingston. As for the mattresses, that might not be a bad idea of getting rid of the mattress part, because I can't lift those things, so I've always had the paper when I buy a mattress, I pay to have them take it.
It's
So,
cheaper.
It's cheaper,
I
and
know.
it would save us money for the town,
Yeah, yeah.
so that's something to think about. So,
All right, next up is recommendation from the Recreation Commission for the 2026 beach stickers. The Rec Commission voted their recommendation at their Monday, March 9th meeting. It's recommended that the fees stay the same because they did increase in 2025. So the 26
increased already.
residents, $30, non-residents, 60, and then seniors, 62 plus, and veterans get a $5 fee reduction. Any questions, comments, motions?
I mean,
It sounds like
I'm
you have
not
a
a
question.
fan of
Keeping it the same.
keeping the same rate. I mean, it's
Yep.
the same speech for every department, so, I mean, I would want to increase it at least a little.
The only conversation that I guess changes it, the thought on it, is we're not offering a service. unlike the
But
other
that doesn't mean
departments.
that other things that are associated with the
Sure.
park aren't increasing. It gets
Right.
absorbed into the recreation department, but
And the sticker fees go to the general fund. They don't go back into the recreation budget.
that's true for
Um,
all the stickers though, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't increase our budget at all. Like,
I
our
mean,
budget doesn't change
A lot of these
over
other
years. Yeah.
fees do the same
So that was the
thing.
conversation, is that the
Right, so I
rec
mean-
budget has stayed the same for years over time, and so the stickers, that was part
I
of it.
can also just vote no, which is
You
fine.
can, for sure. No, but just the conversation about it, yeah.
But all those sticker fees go into the general fund. So it's the
Sure.
same argument for the transfer station.
Yeah.
It's the same argument for, I don't know
Yeah.
if Shellfish goes to the general fund. I'm not sure if that goes to, it does? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
But I think one of the things that we can say is the costs at the town hall have been going up that still support the rec department. So those
Yeah.
are indirect costs to the rec
Yeah.
department, even though your overall budget isn't going up, but the
Sure.
costs, HR, accounting, like all this stuff, the treasurer, et cetera.
I guess my reservation for not gradually increasing fees is I don't like to see holding the price the
Yeah.
same and then having a big jump. We've
Right.
seen that with other departments where they
Yeah.
didn't increase fees and then it was a mistake.
Do you know what it went up from in '24?
I don't
Do you remember?
Is it like
Does anyone
25
know?
to
I thought it was
30?
20. Was it 20 to 30? I could,
I don't-
be
I
making
don't
it
recall.
up.
That's okay. So
I think
I
it went
guess
from 20
what
to
can
30.
happen tonight is we can make a motion to accept, well,
Yeah.
here's a question. If we set them higher, do they have to meet again to
No.
vote? You know, because we're setting it, right? Okay.
But then
They're
again,
making their
you're,
recommendation.
we're recommending it.
But it's
Right.
it's almost, I'd rather kick it
Back.
back
I get you.
than
the only board.
override it.
Right.
If that makes sense. We
Right.
did the same thing with the Shellfish Constable. We could have
Sure.
just voted what we wanted,
Yep.
Right.
but we asked him to come back with different
And I guess the only
recommendations.
thought is that it's a board versus a
But
individual
even what, either way,
department head.
I still
right?
like
Right.
buy-in, I guess.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
understanding the thinking of, yes, it is
Yep.
going to the general fund, but so are these others.
Yeah. We
Well, I'd
did-
like to buy in with what they've recommended. So I'm going to make a motion that people can vote against if they don't agree. I move the Board of Selectmen approve the 2026 beach sticker fee schedule presented this evening.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those against?
No,
That's 4-1.
that's fine.
Can I just
Perfectly
ask you a
happy.
question, Misty?
No, we can't.
Is it gonna
No, can you do it after the meeting? So, yeah.
You can ask me after.
All right, so next up, discuss the condition and long-term planning needs of the town's core infrastructure systems, including water, sewer, roads, and other municipal assets. Scott, you are up.
Yeah, so one of the things I've been thinking about as I get more familiar with the town's operation is the long-term health of the core infrastructure systems. You know, water, sewer, roads, drainage, and our other municipal assets. So, you know, much of this infrastructure was built decades ago, and like most communities, we're seeing increased pressures from whether they're aging systems or regulatory requirements or just overuse in construction. So some of these systems are managed directly by the town, and others fall under Water Commission, Sewer Commission, and they do have a good institutional knowledge of what's going on in these systems. So I think it would be helpful for this board to consider inviting the Water and Sewer Commissions to participate in a joint meeting that we can have a broader discussion on long-term infrastructure planning, asset management, stuff like that. I think obviously we need buy-in from from Streets
Highway,
and Trees
whatever.
Highways and from
It's on my
sewer
list. Can we
department, but
rename it Highway?
I think we would involve the town planner in
Add
this
an
as
article
well.
to the warrant. Rename the department.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Good.
Do you need a, you don't need
Jeez.
Good catch.
Nice catch.
Destroying pictures, Steve.
Wow. That was scary.
Destroying public property.
Sorry, for everyone at home, a picture just fell off the wall. The ghost is here.
Okay, we put the two all in
Was
one.
that like a former sewer
Chief Holmes,
commissioner
good,
or something?
I was
good
wondering the same.
instincts there, though.
That was
He
someone
jumped
who
immediately.
Doesn't like DPW.
Good. Yeah, the ghost.
Hey, let me put that
All
two
right,
all in one.
back to it. So I think that's a great idea. I support it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think a vote is required.
No, but I
just a-
support it. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
we'll make it happen.
Wonderful.
All right.
I like it.
Next item, we have meeting minutes, approval of the open session meeting minutes from February 10th and March 3rd. Any questions, comments, motions?
I move the Board of Selectmen approve the open session meeting minutes of February 10th, 2026 and March 3rd, 2026 as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Town administrator report.
So I did send you folks a winter storm event. I won't bother reviewing that report, as the emergency management director did a very good job explaining. I do agree, certainly we have talked about communication and dissemination of communication coming from town hall. So we're definitely going to work on that, and I think that's a pretty easy fix. But it will take a little bit of time, so we will get there. Beyond that, I think the overall cost, I did send you folks a copy of the budget. I believe you have folders now, and there should be an updated page in there. At this point, our budget is balanceable. It's very close. We have a sort of that wild card coming out of Silver Lake in their capital ask. I think that is really the big thing, and we still haven't settled with all of, or any of the unions for that matter. But we are in a much better place than we had expected to be at this point, and we will get there, I think, and I would request that we do a full budget presentation probably on the 24th. I think we'll be ready for that. We don't have our free cash numbers yet, which is going to make a big difference. I would certainly hope that we have them by then, but we have to be prepared to move forward one way or the other. I think that once we do get our assessment from Silver Lake and the full assessment package, then we can have a discussion on how we want to move forward with that and with that capital request. So I think at that point, we have to look at the options of how we want to, whether that's something that's outside of our normal budget, and that is a request for beyond the levy, or is that something that we want to maybe look more into doing next year as a bigger package, or is that something that we're going to have to make severe cuts to be able to afford it? So I think that like I said, I feel like we'll be in a much better position to have that discussion on the 24th. I think we should schedule it and let all parties know that want to be a part of that.
So would we have capital planning or finance committee join us for that meeting?
I would invite them for that meeting.
Yeah.
Certainly let them know about it. And, we have been meeting, finance committee, we're meeting on Thursday this week, and so I think we'll let them know as well.
Okay.
I'd just like to add to what was just said, that the so-called Silver Lake capital item, was approved by the Silver Lake School Committee, and it's included in the assessment number that was voted by the Silver Lake School Committee already, so that we really do have $400K in addition to what this current budget is. Now, I have a couple of items that I'm working on that I would hope we may be able to cover most of that $400K with. We're still carrying a couple of items in there that may be negotiable. But as far as I know, we don't have much, control over that magic capital number, except maybe how we're going to cover it. But it's included in the assessment package that Silver Lake has put together and that they voted on a week or 2 weeks ago.
But that assessment number is not in our budget.
Not that full assessment.
The last I looked, I don't think we had the full amount in there.
So we would have adding the 400, as we just said, yeah.
Correct.
Okay, got it. All right.
Does that balanceable budget include recovering the snow and ice money from somewhere?
So I think that we'll present those options as well, but that won't
Okay.
come from within the levy.
No, of course.
The hopefully.
But I just mean I think of that as a debt that we need
It
to,
is a debt that we need to take care of, and it's up to somewhere in the $700,000 range right now, between that last storm and
Right.
where we were before that. So we will present some options for that once we have a better handle on free cash and knowing what our lease payments are that will have to come out of that. We will make a determination if we want to use that, or do we want to actually, the other option is stabilization as well. So you have a very healthy stabilization fund. Is that somewhere that we'd want to go to for a snow and ice deficit?
right. Another question. So typically, we have the free cash numbers, I don't remember, October, I think? Is that right, Carl? Does that sound right? Given that it's early March and we don't have that information, do we need to be thinking about moving town meeting to a later date?
Let me answer that next week.
Okay. Okay, that's fair.
All right, any other budget questions, comments, concerns?
Can we rename the highway department, Highway Department? I don't know how to do that structurally. Is that an article? But it's Streets, Trees, and Parks is ridiculous, and I would like to rename it.
It would cost us a lot to change the signage, I would think.
Fine. Sorry, Carl.
As somebody who's worked with the finances here in town for a good number of years, I agree with that we really, this may be a year that we consider using some of the reserve for something like the excess snow and ice, or, to help cover the capital, something. That, we're over $3 million. I've been involved for 12 or 13 years, and we've done nothing but increase that reserve. So that, I think that there is some rationale for using it somewhere along the line.
For moments just like these, right? Everybody heard that. He agreed with me.
I believe so, because, ordinarily, if we had overrun the snow and ice by $300,000 because of normal winter, I would say, hey, no, I don't want to use it. But when I have a storm of, I'm calling it the 50-year storm, okay?
Let's hope so.
Then I think it's reasonable to consider using that.
Anything else?
And I do think that, the sooner we get it on the table, the better, that the schools have worked with us pretty well, I think, so far this year, and have approved both local school budgets and the Silver Lake budget, which results in our assessment at just over 3%. And so I commend them for being willing to do that. And I think that it's an example of finding ways to work together and to compromise and get things done.
Agreed.
That's it.
All right. Anything else? Let me go back up to where we are.
Next regular meeting?
We did meeting minutes. Any other selectmen comments? No. All right, our next regular meeting is 2 weeks from tonight, March 24th, and we'll be discussing the budget in more detail. We'll let the Finance Committee, Capital Planning Committee know about it, and if they would like to come and discuss. All right.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. 7:11 PM or 7:10 PM.
That wasn't bad.